On this episode of the Bronze Metalist podcast, we get started with black metal January. What month it is? I'm focused right now because I'm appropriately enough for black metal.
He's bleeding out of his arm.
Yeah, I'm starting the month of bleeding from my wrist.
That's
thanks
awesome.
to my cat. So
you and Dead, you're trying to.
don't. We can't get too far into it. It's the intro. Anyway, enjoy our discussion of The Beginning by Mercyful Fate. Hi, everyone. I'm Kale.
I'm OJ.
This is the Bronze Medalist podcast. This is not normally how we open the episode.
No, it's fine. I mean, you're
tonight's
probably
a weird
feeling
night.
woozy. You got...
Yeah, I've lost a lot of blood.
Yeah. He tried to slit his wrist with a cat.
Yeah, with an antsy and angry cat that, was rather impatient for being put down.
Sure. Oh, you had to put your cat down?
Yeah, I had to put my cat down.
Terrible.
On the floor.
Okay. On the floor. Wow.
Yeah. No, we're two professional broadcasters. Yeah. Can't you tell by how how well put together and how well thought out all our sentences are?
You have to realize that today we didn't work. It was not a work day. We're sort of out of sorts. It's January 1st.
It's a bank holiday today.
I feel like I haven't seen you all decade.
Fuck you.
Okay, no.
How dare you? Yeah, it's New Year's Day.
It is,
and it's just been a lazy fucking day for me.
I
didn't do anything.
I washed dishes and putted around the house, but mostly we're starting to rewatch Parks and Rec. For some reason. Yeah.
What number is it?
What number is it? What number of watch?
What number of rewatch?
I think this is 4. This is the 4th.
My God.
I mean, because my wife had it selected, and she decided to watch it. Do you have any problem with watching Parks and Rec again? Like, never.
I won't.
It's not going to be a problem if you want to watch it. Yeah. I keep meeting him because my son keeps taking over the PS4 if we're not using it.
Yeah.
But I want to watch my Christmas gift from this.
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Oh, you'll get there.
Yeah.
I guess I have started, and this was before, because it's been a while since we've sat down to record an episode. We took a little break and put out an episode on a Wednesday instead of recording on a Wednesday. Uh-huh. And actually, no, we put it out on Tuesday.
Oh, really? For Chuckmas.
Chuckmas was on Tuesday because I got done editing it the night that we had recorded it, and then I texted my sister at like 10:45 and it was like, do you want it to come out tomorrow or Wednesday?
Yeah.
And she was like, tomorrow. And I was like, all right. Merry Christmas. Or no, I think I said Happy Chuckmas. At any rate, I keep on looking at my wrist.
I know you do. You wait
just to make sure like I'm not going to start gushing blood out of it at any moment.
It'll be fine.
It's a fairly small scratch.
It's small and deep.
There was more blood to it than I had anticipated there being, and I have realized I have no bandages.
Yeah, no bandages, no antiseptic spray of any kind.
I have nothing, so I might. I don't know. I might get a horrible infection and die.
Well. Yeah, try not to do that.
I'll try. Yeah, I'll try not to. I washed it out very thoroughly immediately with soap. Afterwards. With soap, the best known thing to prevent diseases. That's actually by law of large numbers true. Uh-huh. So I don't know what kind of joke I'm trying to make.
When you go into the ER, they don't say, "Give me some Palmolive stat."
Yeah.
Which is dish soap. I don't know how they use that.
I mean, it's still soap.
Sure.
At any rate, speaking of Michael Schur shows, I have started catching up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine a little bit. I've been putting it off because like season 6 came out last year, and I had been putting it off for a while for some reason, even though I love the show. Mm-hmm. And like for a little while, I didn't have access to Hulu, and then I did, but still didn't do it. Didn't do it for some reason.
That happens.
Now I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm enjoying season 6. It's good stuff.
Any New Year's resolutions of any kind?
Fuck no.
See, I'm doing, because they said this in the prep, and it made a lot of sense to me this last week, that instead of doing one big, stupid New Year's resolution that you're not going to fulfill,
do a little thing.
Do micro ones, resolutions. So I'm doing one little one at a time. For January, I'm eating no fast food.
There you go.
No fast food in January, especially considering I stood on the scale today, and I don't know why I do that.
Yeah.
I'm 196 pounds now. I'm 196.
I wish I was 196 pounds.
Well, yeah, your skeleton probably weighs 196 pounds.
Not quite. I don't know how much my skeleton weighs, but yeah, that was like probably 2 years ago.
Sure.
I was that weight.
196.
Yeah.
Well, you're 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah. I'm Hafthor Bjornsson.
Yeah.
Just think of him.
Yeah.
Dear listener, that just picture the mountain.
That's what Kale looks like.
Picture the mountain, but with even more of a baby face because he it doesn't have the beard or anything.
Right. No.
Because Hafthor kind of he's I mean a lot of strong men kind of have a baby face because they pack in a lot of calories and you don't work out your face muscles very much.
Right.
But no, I'm not that big.
No,
I am taller and broader than you. But I at some point maybe make a resolution to lose some weight. I don't know. I feel like you've kind of inspired me.
Yeah.
Of don't eat fast food all month. I think maybe I should do that. I went to Wendy's yesterday. I can be like, I got the last one in.
Sure.
And maybe not eat fast food all month. Maybe I'll try to do that.
Now, what would you eat if you didn't eat fast? I mean, suppose you just fry yourself a piece of chicken and
probably die. Yeah, I mean, I've got it's not good, it's super healthy food, but it's probably better than fast food that I have here.
And it's cheaper.
And it is also cheaper. So I can feed myself. Not well, but I can feed myself.
You can barely take care of yourself.
Yep.
It seems you don't have any Band-Aids.
I didn't have... Well, I mean, there's always... there are knives and swords and shit in this apartment.
There are.
None of the big blades are sharp, though, but I mean, I was going to say I didn't really have a reason to have Band-Aids in the apartment. There's sharp things. There's always a reason to have some first aid stuff. I might actually have something buried somewhere. Now that I think about it,
some Neosporin.
I don't know about Neosporin, but maybe a Band-Aid. Actually, give me a second here.
All right, you okay?
You can.
Do you need help up? Are you fine?
Oh God, I'm so woozy. I do have.
He does. You have a little first aid kit.
Shit.
Nice. What's in the kit?
A bunch of, I think they're gauze, sterile gauze pads. I do have a little packet of antiseptic towelette.
Nice. You could just wipe off your.
And I got some Band-Aids that are very old, but I don't know if Band-Aids expire.
I don't know.
I
doubt it.
They're sealed. So maybe I'll put that on there. I forgot that I had this, and then I remembered it's in a drawer that I never have cause to open.
Sure, because you don't normally get a deep wound from a cat.
Yeah. So I feel good that I had this, although I'm almost certain I didn't buy this. This is something that was given to me with almost utter certainty by my mom saying, you need something like this because you're a dumbass and you're going to hurt yourself at some point.
You know what's funny is I actually worked for a company that refused to put a first aid kit on site because the act of having a first aid kit causes people to be injured.
Isn't that illegal?
I don't know.
To not have a first aid kit
in
a work site?
Yeah.
I feel like that's against OSHA guidelines.
Probably.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
I'm sure the place I was working, OSHA wouldn't be caught dead stepping foot in there.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, there are certain I don't think OSHA doesn't visit restaurants, do they?
No, or bars.
Yeah, they don't visit places like that unless by request.
Right.
It's not the way they would visit, a factory or a construction site. Yeah, it's a good thing I had this.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you never know.
It's an odd color. What did you have on your arm? Is that from the blood?
Yeah, that's from the blood. It's
geez.
just white. I just wiped up the blood that was seeping out of it slowly. People listening to this are probably thinking I've got some sort of horrible, grievous wound. It's a tiny scratch. It's just.
What are all those bubbles coming out of it?
Oh well, I'm actually the Toxic Avenger.
It's oozing.
Did you know that?
Green, are you?
Yeah, I'm the Toxic Avenger.
The green ooze and the bubbles and
the secret of the ooze is that it comes out of my body.
Sure.
That's the one thing the Ninja Turtles didn't know. It is also the secret of the Kells. Strangely enough, they're the same thing.
Wow.
I have no context for the secret of the Kells. I know that's a media project.
But you don't know anything about it?
Yeah, I don't know what it is other than it's like a Celtic themed thing. I'm having difficulty opening this Band-Aid from all the blood loss.
Why are there like spider legs coming out of it?
I'm the Thing.
Weird.
I'm the
Thing or the Swamp Thing?
Both.
Okay.
Another strange coincidence where they were the same thing. This is not going to stay on my arm.
No, it's not.
There's no possible way that's going to.
It's just it's in a weird place.
Yeah.
Can you put it on there like vertically? Like yeah, there you go. But now that you've taken
I think I should have let the antiseptic dry a little bit.
Perhaps. There you go. All better.
All better. Now I just need my grandma to kiss it. But yeah, come to work with this tomorrow.
Sure.
Was it, Kale, are you okay? I didn't think you were going to be that lonely on New Year's Eve. I guess last night I did get together with a couple of pals over the internet, and we played a few rounds of the Jackbox party pack games.
Nice.
Those are always a lot of fun. I love playing those.
The Jackbox.
Yes. There's a whole bunch of different packs of fun little party games that you can...
digital or?
Yeah. It's... they're on Steam. I don't know if they're on consoles or whatnot, but what it is you have one system, whatever it is, playing the game, and then it gives you a address, a website address that you can go to, and it creates a little room for you on the website, and you type in a room code.
Is it free?
No, the game is not free, but only one person that you're playing with needs to have it for everyone to play.
Nice.
The main thing is everyone just needs to see the screen, which you can do on Discord. You can do like a screen sharing thing, and everyone can see the screen that's playing the game. So that's what we did last night. Because me and my friend group were kind of spread all over the country. I got to talk to a good pal of mine who I haven't talked to in person in a while, or I still wasn't talking to him in person, but I haven't talked to him, via my voice or anything like that. Just, text in a mutual meme chat and whatnot.
Okay.
Who's in Alaska. He's at trying to remember the Army base in Fairbanks. But
I don't remember.
He's posted up in Alaska at the moment, and so he was playing whistles.
Nice.
Over the internet, and that was fun.
Yeah.
What else did I do today? I picked. Oh my God, I'm so incoherent.
It's been a lazy day, and hard to kickstart your brain.
I haven't talked to anything except my cat, and even then, it's usually just one word, phrase or like single phrases of just like "Hello, cat." Stop it, cat. So like I haven't talked to a human being yet today, so I'm just.
I just can't wait to hear your show tomorrow.
I mean, my show tomorrow will not be any different than like a Monday.
That Ken Chesney.
Ken Chesney, sing song for us.
Hear weather.
Hear weather. Today, many cloud. Tomorrow,
no cloud.
Sky Father cry. Sky Father cry cold tears. But yeah, I picked up The Outer Worlds, or I picked it back up, rather, because I had neglected to play it for quite some time, and I moved my furniture in my living room around a little bit. I put my Xbox out in my living room to originally be used as a Blu-ray player because it is far quieter than my PlayStation.
Sure.
Because I have the original PS4 that sounds like a jet engine.
That's what I have.
And I don't want to turn my speakers all the way up in order to avoid having to hear that. The Blu-ray player on my Xbox One is very quiet. So I have that, and I moved the television screen to be directly in front of my recliner.
Aha.
Because I'm usually the only one here that needs to see the TV.
Because you're lonely.
Because I'm a horribly lonely, sad sack of a human being. Yes, that's right.
Yes, that is accurate. My battery completely died on me on my car.
Yeah, that was on Tuesday already, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then it happened again yesterday, and I couldn't even jump it. It wouldn't hold a charge at all. So today I eventually did the ultimate 100 amp. This is your last shot right now. Jump, because I bought a battery, and I was going to take the old battery out, but I took the things off the posts, and then I looked down, and it's like bolted to the frame in these weird places that I can't get to.
You're really going to have to work at it to get it out.
So on the advice of my wife, we took it to a shop, and I'm just going to have them run a diagnostic on it anyway. So see why.
I mean, I don't think battery diagnostics are very expensive either.
No.
They're pretty cheap.
So. And they were closed today, so I drove her car here tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll be taking a lift tomorrow morning.
Ah, yes. The good old it would feel very weird to me to take a lift to work.
Because you live a block and a half from work?
Not even a block and a half.
A block.
No, even if I lived halfway across town, I feel like I would feel weird taking a lift to work.
Why?
I don't know. Because it's like you're going to your job.
Well, yeah.
Shouldn't you have a car to go to your job?
Well, you should. Well, but I mean, there are times when you're on your way to work and you don't want to get a DUI, so you call a Lyft.
I suppose. But yeah, it was just that would feel a little weird to me. But one of the balls from a cat toy is in here, and I didn't think she bothered with those. Anyway.
Are you all right, man?
I think my cat had some sort of venom on her claws that has leached into my system and is slowly shutting off brain function. So we should probably get to talking about the album before my brain melts into a sludge and I, am permanently rendered into a vegetative state. So if you don't know what Mercyful Fate is considered to be a part of the first wave of black metal, which is kind of a nebulous definition. The first wave of black metal was not really a genre.
They were still experimenting with the idea in a lot of different ways.
At the time, black metal wasn't really a genre. It was just a group of bands that had similar thematics. Like it could be a speed metal band, it could be a thrash metal band, it could be just a bomb standard heavy metal. It could be anything kind of metal-ish, or even hard rock or progressive rock or whatever, but with dark, like satanic or anti-Christian themes, and the very heavy use of dark and intimidating stage presences and visual art. That was what the first wave of black metal was all about. It was not necessarily anything about the song structure or the way the guitars sounded or the production. That would all come later in the second wave.
They were very strict about it in the second wave.
Yeah. This in the second wave of black metal is really what everyone today thinks of when you say black metal. It's the first thing that comes to mind. The first imagery that pops into your head is Mayhem or Burzum or Immortal or Gorgoroth or something like that.
Right.
And like the strictness of the second wave has softened up quite a bit over the last decade, I'd say. With bands like Wolves in the Throne Room and Panopticon and stuff like that, gaining more acceptance as this is also black metal, but it's not that black metal.
Right.
But this is the early days.
These are the early days.
And this is the first band to feature a musician we've talked about before. The good Sir Kim Bendix Peterson, better known as King Diamond.
Yeah.
And he's in full force. This is actually kind of a weird album because I didn't know this until I looked it up. I was like, why is half the album live sessions from BBC Radio? I was trying to figure that, and then I realized it's a compilation album of songs off of their first EP, Nuns Have No Fun, and it's remastered versions of the songs off of their first EP, and
also 3 songs off of Melissa.
Yeah, live performances from their first album, Melissa. And I didn't realize. I thought this was just like the second or third King. I almost said King Diamond.
Yeah,
Mercyful Fate album.
They weren't even together at the time this came out. They'd broken up at the.
This was after King Diamond said, "I'm going to go be just me."
Yes, 1987 is when this came out.
Okay,
and it was it after after Don't Break the Oath. And then they kind of split up, and then I guess the record company said, "I like this album because it's just a wider variety of the stuff that they do."
I suppose, yeah.
So they put this together, and they got back together in '93.
That sounds right.
Something like that, and did some more music, made another album. But
yep. This is Mercyful Fate is a band that is, at least in retrospect, kind of dominated by King Diamond's presence in a way,
yeah.
at least from my point of view,
mm-hmm.
because he is such a iconic musician
mm-hmm.
and he has such a...
He's a very specific thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You listen to something and you go, oh, that's King Diamond. Absolutely. Yeah. That has to be King Diamond.
And the guitar work on this is good. The song structure is great as well.
Oh, yes.
Of their music.
This is more rock and roll than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
This is, other than the satanic sort of themes,
mm-hmm.
This is a very rock and roll album.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also very fun. It's
a lot of fun.
Which is something that you would not describe the second wave of black metal as being.
You know, I pointed this out earlier, that, they have a song... You know, in like the second wave of black metal or any kind of thing after that, they'll say the words, but they want to call a nun a bad word, but they can't say the bad word because it's too bad. We gotta spell it.
I mean,
yeah,
why not?
CUNT. That's what you are.
That's what you are.
What does that spell? I can't say it.
Can't say that. But yeah, Mercyful Fate is fun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It has some of the same feeling as like Iron Maiden, or it's the same era. It came out
mm-hmm.
Melissa came out a year, 2 years after Number of the Beast. Number of the Beast was 82. I think Melissa was 84.
I thought it was the same year.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like a similar caliber of just like this is fun, kind of, other than the lyrical themes, straight up heavy metal.
And even some of the songs about Satan are kind of fun songs about Satan.
Yeah, they are. It's something you picture it on like sort of a somewhat cheesy 80s satanic panic like exploitation movie.
Right.
This could be the soundtrack. And it is a lot of fun for that reason. I will say, on King Diamond, there is one song, I believe it was the Devil in My Eyes, or what is it?
Devil Eyes.
Devil's Eyes. There's a couple points in there where his falsetto starts, because this is early in their career.
Mm-hmm.
He maybe hadn't quite tightened it up the way he would later on.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the highest parts of his range
starts to break.
It starts to break a little bit,
and
starts to sound suspiciously like Elmo. There's a couple parts where I'm listening to it going like, that sounds like Elmo. He's going just a little, like he hadn't quite figured out maybe the correct like mouth shape and the correct enunciation while he's singing up that high in his falsetto, because like a lot of later King Diamond stuff, or even sort of the rest of Melissa, one release after, because I believe that song was off of Nuns Have No Fun. Even on Melissa, maybe the recording quality is just better, or they took a little bit more time in the studio. But it is just he never quite sounds like Elmo again.
No. And the funny thing is in the mid 80s, I guess, in 80s, he would have been 30 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't young.
Because he is 64 years old?
Almost 64, yeah.
Almost 64, yeah. I love looking up pictures of him from back then too. the mustache and the huge, like especially if you look at pictures of him without the makeup on, and he's got the huge mutton chops.
Yeah, and then always with sunglasses on.
Yeah, those awesome aviators. Like he looked like the fucking coolest dude in the world.
Yeah, he's got a couple of hogs in the garage.
Yeah, he looked like a 80s biker porn star. Sort of like he looked like one rad dude.
Yeah,
that you could hang out with at parties, and then he would introduce you to Satan. Because I don't remember if we talked about this on our King Diamond episode where we talked about them. Is King Diamond is the real deal.
Oh, he is the real deal. Yeah, he is actually a Satanist.
Yeah, he's although he is not in the way that like later Euronymous and the Black Circle would claim to be Satanists, where they, were actual. Supposedly, they would claim to be like deific Satanists, where they think there's actually a devil and they're devil worshippers.
He wasn't necessarily there. He was more of a LaVeyan.
King Diamond is I believe specifically a LaVeyan Satanist, which is the kind that's just like Satan's kind of cool, and his imagery is a lot of fun.
We like the idea.
And hey, maybe there's magic. We'll do that because orgies are fun. I still maintain that Anton LaVey, I mean, he was very interested in the occult and he wanted to write a book.
Sure.
But really, starting it as a religion was just an excuse to have orgies in his awesome house.
And do drugs.
Of course, yeah. That was basically like he just wanted to do drugs and have sex with Hollywood starlets. And that was his avenue towards it.
Because why not?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, and, get to surround himself with some cool gothic imagery. He was living the dream. It was his dream, but living the dream nonetheless.
He was trying to appeal to women whose sexual thing was Ming from Flash Gordon. You know what I
mean? No, I don't know what you mean, actually.
You don't?
I don't.
Ming, the villain in Flash Gordon?
No.
He looked a lot like Anton LaVey.
Okay. All right. I can picture it then. I don't know specifically the context, but I know what Anton LaVey looked like, so I can at least hazard a guess as to what this character looked like. I'm vamping to give you some time to show me a picture on your phone here.
There we go. I didn't know. I mean, let's see. Where is he? There we go.
Oh yeah, that is. Oh my god. Oh my God, he looks exactly like Anton LaVey. Like, I mean, they play up some of the villainous part, but he looks exactly like Anton LaVey. Holy shit.
Yeah, there it is.
God damn. And also, if you take the horns and make the skin more of a human color, if you take those two things away, Asmodeus from Dungeons and Dragons also looks exactly like that, probably on purpose. Or is it Asmodeus?
I think it's Asmodeus.
Asmodeus? Okay. I can never... It's one or the other. Mm-hmm. At any rate, King Diamond is the real deal, but he is the less intimidating real deal because when you actually look into it, LaVeyan Satanists are pretty chill.
They're pretty chill, yeah.
Yeah. They're usually just like, oh, this is fun. Okay, let's do this.
Let's do it. Why not?
It's an excuse to hang out. I mean, there's probably more to it than that, but it's usually pretty innocent stuff. King Diamond, cool dude. He's only in the last couple of years has become a father for the first time.
Yeah,
he became a father at 62 years old,
which makes me sad because you would think at this age he'd have some teenage grandkids going, "That's my pop."
You know? Yeah, that's my pop right there. Uh-huh. You see him in the makeup up there on the stage in the top hat with the mic stand with the two bones.
Yeah. Those are real bones, right?
Those are real bones. I suppose if he had grandkids, they'd be in the U.S. because I think he's lived in the U.S.
He's in Texas for quite a while, yeah.
For quite some time. He hasn't lived in Denmark for quite a few years, as I understand. But,
yes. It'd be awesome to be there in Austin. You wander into a convenience store. It's fucking King Diamond. Oh my God!
Do you think he just walks around in full makeup at all times?
I feel like no. I feel like that'd be a pain in the ass.
That would be a bit, especially at 64 years old.
Yeah,
like that. At some point, you have to kind of look at yourself in the mirror and go, "No,
I'm not at work right now."
I don't want to do this today. If you hear the clanking of beer bottles, that's because I have
we got
Shiner Brewery tour.
Ooh.
Oh, the wicked juicy, fucking wicked juicy IPA right there.
Fucking wicked juicy.
Fucking wicked juicy, I tell you. These are twist offs, by the way.
Yeah, like an idiot here. There we go.
Because it's Shiner, and apparently I think they're all twist offs now.
Yeah.
There was a point where sometimes they'd be pop offs, sometimes they'd be twist offs. Maybe that's a fiction that I've invented because my memory sucks, but I feel like I've had bottles of Shiner before that were pop offs. But yeah, these ones are twist offs. But that'd be funny if King Diamond had grandkids. I did see there was a show somewhat recently, I think, that he did where he had to perform without makeup because he had an eye infection or something. That would be weird. It was because he was in the rest of his stage getup, and I've I discussed before. You know, you've seen pictures of him where he's not wearing the makeup, but he's usually got the sunglasses on and stuff. But like he was in his full stage getup, but there was no makeup, and there was something really bizarre about that. About not seeing him with the corpse paint on.
Something unsettling.
It was something very weird. He's just he's just an old man. Well, he's not that old, but suddenly he's just
a middle-aged fella.
Just an older guy. So yeah, that was just kind of bizarre to see that. It's like it's almost like going to the mall and accidentally seeing going to the mall and seeing your teacher. Sure, what I was going to say is seeing Santa take his beard off for a second and going, no, it's not real, is it? Your whole reality just kind of crashes down around you.
You heard what our coworker did last week, didn't you? That's hilarious.
He accidentally posed the question after reading a story. So how old were you when you found out Santa wasn't real?
Yeah. I mean, not even thinking of the idea that, hey, kids are listening.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then he got a very angry phone call from a mother.
You're an asshole, this woman said to him.
Yeah, she cussed him out, too.
Yeah. And so he came into my booth, and he says, I can't believe I just got called an asshole. And I could watch the realization sort of wash over his face like, I am an asshole.
Why. Yeah, I am the asshole.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you a story about some flamboyant person who had no business calling me, but no,
they were in the right.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen to us very often.
No, it doesn't.
Usually we can make fun of people who call us.
Sure,
but no, that one was deserved. That one was deserved.
We haven't got a call from the Foot Guy for a while.
We haven't gotten a call from the Foot Guy since the day he called us 4 times.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's up to.
Hey, what kind of shoes do you have? Do you wear socks with sandals? Don't cover your stinky feet with socks. So you gotta let your feet breathe.
Gotta let them breathe.
Do you wear flippers? What kind of shoes do you wear? Do you have big feet? Are they pretty?
To my understanding,
yeah,
like we don't have nearly as many weirdos that call us now.
Oh no,
as was the case in previous eras of radio.
It used to be fucking-tastic.
Just
it was great.
Non-stop weirdos calling in.
Yeah, like 60% of the time that phone rang, you know you're going to pick it up,
and some very interesting person was on the other end of that line.
Oh yeah.
I almost kind of wish that we had that just to break up the monotony of it sometimes.
We basically just have one. Yeah, it was just the one dude that calls now.
Yeah, and at least for me anyway, on the zoo you guys do have one other weirdo that calls in every once in a while. Damn right.
Damn right.
Good old damn right.
Damn right.
He's never called me because I don't think he listens to country.
No, he listens to classic rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, we don't have any weirdos that call in. I never got to talk to Foot Guy.
No,
he never called me. Foot Guy never called me. It was you and Kelly.
Yeah, he called. You were sitting behind me, and I started making shit up.
Yeah, you started like you. I had no idea what the context for what was going on was, and I hear you say like, I'm sorry, I actually don't have feet. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought maybe this was a prank you were pulling on me.
No.
Where no one was on the other line.
No, there was a dude there. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was a weird day. But in any event. Mercyful Fate.
Yeah. Their newer stuff is actually really good as well. I recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I should do that at some point. When did you get into Mercyful Fate? Because I know, like, Iron Maiden was a fairly present. How long after, like, Number of the Beast or Power Slave came out that you came across those?
It was actually not too long after this came out. I mean, it would have been probably 1989.
89, all right.
That I got this on cassette, and this is fan-fucking-tastic. This guy sounds like that dude who does the really high-pitched voice for, it is. It is that dude.
So you had already I'd
already discovered King Diamond. Yes.
Okay.
King Diamond I discovered probably in the 87, 88.
Okay.
That era.
And what did you think of what did you think of the first wave of black metal at that time? How did you feel about it?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I hadn't listened to a whole lot of there was one band I never got a chance to listen to, and I don't remember why. It was oh my god,
Venom?
Venom, thank you.
I was just thinking of like the other big first wave black metal.
Venom. I mean, they actually, they
coined the term.
They coined the term black metal with a song called Black Metal.
Yes, that's where the term comes from. So you never listened to Venom?
I hadn't actually, not until I got into my 20s did I really listen to Venom.
Okay.
Because I didn't. I mean, my listening experience a lot of times was shaped by the weirdos that I was surrounded by.
Yeah.
And so, hey, listen to this, to this.
That's how that worked back then.
Sure. I mean, that's the only way it could work.
Yeah.
With the exception of like Iron Maiden, which I found their music in a shop called, was it Music City? Is that the name of the place? It was a Filipino. It was on Frontier Street was the name of it. And I go in there all the time. It was just the weirdest thing. People would be behind the counter smoking. You could pick up.
I mean, people are probably behind the counter smoking today. It's the fucking Philippines.
That's a good point. I don't know if that music store is still there, but it was awesome. You pay $5 and you get whatever you want.
Have you ever thought about going back to the Philippines?
I haven't thought about a return there.
You really wouldn't care to?
I if somebody said, "Hey, you got time and we're going to pay for it," yeah, we want to go back to the PI.
If it wasn't a problem.
If it wasn't a problem, but I feel like there's a bit of an anti-American sentiment a lot.
I imagine.
I mean, there was at the time. I imagine there hasn't been any sort of goodwill ambassador there to stem the tide of fuck you, America. There, I mean,
other than maybe some disaster relief here and there.
Or there, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's the sort of thing that usually gets worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm certain if it was just you, they would. I don't think I would
take the children.
Yeah, people wouldn't. I don't think people would come after you and be like, kill the honky."
Yeah, the honky.
I don't know why they would call you a honky. Do Filipinos have a name for like white Americans?
Americano.
Just Spanish names.
Yeah, Americano.
Would they call you gringo or something?
No, I never.
Or is that more of a Mexican?
That's more of a Mexican thing. Yeah, Americano. And it's funny.
Sorry, I poured myself a glass of Shiner Black Lager, which is. True to its name, midnight fucking black.
It is,
and it's very good. Kind of coffee, kind of a coffee taste to it. Very good stuff. Anyway,
I don't remember saying
something about the Philippines.
Oh yeah, I had a good time there. Oh yeah, and a lot of people, you see like a kid working in the street for $1 a day, doing whatever, spoke 4 languages. And that's that just always blew my mind. Like, wow.
I mean, it's because. Probably English, Spanish, Tagalog, and
a local dialect.
Yeah, and a local dialect.
There, we were in Luzon, so it'd be Ilocano would have been the dialect they would have known. But
and here's me with my measly one.
Here's me, with my measly barely English.
Yeah, I can barely form a coherent sentence in English.
Yeah.
Most of the time, as this episode is clear evidence of.
This kid covered in ringworm who's selling rice on a corner speaks 4 languages. Probably went to college. You know what I
mean? Yeah. That's weird how that works sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
When you grow up in a place that is as diverse, I guess, as far as linguistics go, but it's diverse for the wrong reasons, for tragic reasons. Mm-hmm. Anyway, boy, we
Mercyful Fate.
Yeah, we got on a tangent there. So, like, did you know that, like, were people calling it these group of bands? Was everyone calling it black metal at the time?
I don't remember anybody saying black metal.
That was something that came after.
That was something, yeah.
What did you think, like, comparing, were people, when, say, Mayhem started making it to the States, like the music started making its way into the States, was that something you were aware of? Like, this is part of the same lineage as like these other satanic
I never
bands.
made that connection. No, I never would. And in fact, when Mayhem sort of made it to the States in the early to mid 90s, I was I was in a different place.
Okay.
It's not. I didn't like have any friends that would really listen to that sort of music.
Okay. So
I didn't get the joy of enjoying that until I was in my late 20s and 30s.
Suppose.
Oh, what the hell? Oh man.
That's fuck is this shit?
There is nothing more Scandinavian than what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. Exactly. I saw a neat map where it was metal bands per capita, metal bands per million people, and Finland was far and away the most metal bands per capita, which I think comes out to 633 per million people, and then followed fairly closely by Sweden. Then I think it's Iceland, then Norway, then Greece.
Yeah,
of
Greece
all
is
countries.
huge,
Then Denmark, and the rest of Europe sort of kind of trickling. The UK is surprisingly low.
Yeah,
Scandinavia. And the Nordic countries in general. Estonia also had a fair chunk of metal bands per capita, because they gotta they want to live up to Big Brother Finland.
Sure.
And yeah, it was unsurprising, but it was kind of impressive, especially on the count of Iceland, because there's only like 250,000 people in Iceland, and
most
they
of
have
them.
So apparently most people in Iceland are involved in a metal band.
I believe it's on your driver's license in Iceland. It's your
what
name, eye
band
color, what band you're in, your height, your weight approximately.
But I thought that was impressive.
Yeah.
And apparently like metal didn't become a big thing in Finland until like the late 90s.
Sure. But it really blossomed.
Yeah, it really exploded, but like metal was not really a big thing until like Children of Bodom, really.
Right.
Like Children of Bodom was the first like big Finnish metal band, or one of the first.
I feel like they're not they can't be that old. Children of Bodom.
I don't think they are that old, but like they were one of the first big they're one of the first big Finnish metal bands. And like their sort of
Amorphous was really huge.
Yeah, Amorphous as well. Yeah, big name bands that started getting recognition. And then there was sometime in the 2000s when Finland brought a metal song to Eurovision and won.
Yeah. Were they Finnish?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they were Finnish.
The song was Hard Rock Hallelujah.
Something like that.
That was the name of the song. And it was it was one of those things where this is weird, and they
were dressed like Gwar too.
Kinda.
They were in sort of ghoulish like alien costumes.
Yeah.
And that won Eurovision.
The song was weirdly catchy.
Yeah.
It was extremely catchy, in fact. I mean
it is still Eurovision.
Right.
It doesn't matter how much rock you pump into it, you're still at Eurovision. It's got to be very catchy.
Their sound would be more under the later years of Kiss than
metal.
Than
but
metal, yeah.
It's a testament to Finland itself that is what they brought to Eurovision that year. Like that's probably the heaviest that you could really bring to Eurovision. And so they did it because why not?
Yeah.
Because it's fucking Finland.
Big Mike that used to work at the station there, and I actually would walk around the studio yelling their lyrics at each other.
Do you have examples?
This is the Apocalypse, and I'll take your soul.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I love it. I love it very much. Very, very good. Very good. And like Finland is one of the few countries besides maybe Australia where like extreme metal albums very often end up topping like the nationwide charts, because Finland is awesome. If someone was like, you have to move to another country, that's where I would move. No hesitation. Moving to Finland. It's don't even have to think about it very hard.
You'd go.
Yeah, I'd go. Absolutely. If someone was threatened my life and said you have to leave the country, I'd just move to Finland.
Sure. I mean, they all speak English, but eventually you'd learn to speak Finnish.
It would probably take a very long time, but yeah, I'd pick some things up eventually because it's an extremely
a crazy language.
Yeah. Finnish and English have about as much in common as crocodiles and birds, in the sense that crocodiles and birds are both archosaurs.
Sure,
but the point where they diverged on their evolutionary
tree millions of years ago.
Was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Instead of being just two different types of bird, it's now bird, crocodile, and all the rest of the dinosaurs that died. Those are the only archosaurs that are left, is birds and crocodiles.
Now, if you ever get a chance to listen to some Mexican heavy metal, it's the music that you listen to, and until you sort of look it up and do a little research, you don't know that it's a band that hates you personally.
Oh. Is it like a lot of like America hate, or what is it? They don't like white people, or
there's a song called the Brujeria.
Okay.
Oddly, the keyboardist for Faith No More played some sessions with them, but I mean, oddly,
why not? I mean, why not?
But their song "Matando Güeros," kill Whitey. I mean,
I mean, hey, we suck.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I should get my little board that I left. I'm just falling to shambles.
That's fine.
I'll ask the question to you before I get up. Does this album slap?
Does this album slap? You know what? It does. I feel like it slaps. Listening to it, I bang my head. It doesn't. There's no ballad on here at all.
Yeah,
it's all.
I feel like what's the last song on here?
Well, it depends on which version you have.
I don't know. I didn't get to print anything off.
I don't know which version you were listening to. I mean, they've done several re-releases.
It's like 10 minutes long. Black Masses.
Black Masses.
I think like the last couple of minutes of Black Masses gets kind of ballady. There's some acoustic stuff in there. It gets
But Satan's Fall.
Oh, maybe I was thinking of Satan's Fall.
Satan's Fall is the long one. That's the 10-minute song.
Yeah, you're right. No, Satan's Fall, is sort of an epic sort of song.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say it slaps.
Mm-hmm.
I think it slaps. It's not one of those.
It's not one of those sneezy kind of albums.
Nope, not.
Okay, good. All right. Wait for it.
Every time I talk,
think of a cow. Imagine a cow.
Rich beef sausages.
Rich beef sausages.
Anyway,
that's the first meat.
The first, yeah, it's beef. Anyway, oh my God.
Are you right?
No, it slaps. This album. I don't know what I was going to say. Other than this slaps, I guess. I think I've recovered what I was going to say, is that there are some albums that slap because they're very extremely heavy and fast, and like you want to mosh and like bang your head and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other albums that slap because there is a very consistent level of sort of rock and roll fun.
Yeah.
And the riffs are real swingy and catchy and kind of hook you in, and they make you want to move. It's that sort of sound that slaps for that reason, because it makes you want to sort of like maybe not bang your head all the way, but you want to slap, or you want to slap your knee, but you want to imagine you've got a guitar, and you're kind of bouncing as you play your guitar. I don't know where I was going with that, but you get it. You understand.
What's the score of this?
That was kind of a complicated subject because it's a compilation album.
Mm-hmm.
So there were some people who were kind of scoring it off of like, well, this is a compilation album. It's a remix. Blah, 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 blah. So I kind of got an aggregate of like what people thought of this compilation, what people thought of Melissa, and what people thought of Nuns Have No Fun. And so it's 70 plus is sort of the range. Like Melissa is very widely regarded, fairly critically acclaimed album. Yeah, absolute breakthrough album for them, and has garnered a fair amount of critical acclaim. Nuns Have No Fun was not quite the same sort of situation, not quite as critically acclaimed as Melissa was. And then this sort of bringing elements of those two together. Yeah, I mean, people were like, "Oh, we got cool live version." By the way, the BBC like radio live recordings sound amazing.
Oh, sure.
But that's kind of par for the course for anything that King Diamond is involved in.
Right.
Because I've seen a lot of like live performances of his pop up on YouTube, and they are all mixed extremely well. The man knows how to handle, live albums and that sort of thing.
Man gets the right people on the job.
Yes, he gets the right people to work with him.
And his singing live is amazing.
Yeah, he's still got it.
Yeah.
He still has got it.
The thing that he does is difficult, but
yes, he's kind of become the new Devin Townsend in the sense that all of the what I'm about to say is going to make sense.
Okay.
In the sense that all of the vocal coaches on YouTube are now reacting to King Diamond live performances instead of Devin Townsend live performances, which was the thing like last year. Everyone was reacting to Devin Townsend, and now it's King Diamond. Because there's a lot to take in with King Diamond. One thing I will say is, to my memory, when we listened to them, almost all of his singing on them was falsetto.
There's a lot of falsetto, yeah. More falsetto than on this.
Yeah, and that's not the case. That's not quite the case with Abigail. Like Abigail, there's a fair amount of falsetto on Abigail, but he uses his normal sort of singing voice a fair bit, and then on this even more uses his normal singing voice. So me being mostly experienced with them when it comes to King Diamond, when I started listening to this, it was like, wait, that's King Diamond singing? And then a couple seconds later, it's like, oh yeah, no, that's King Diamond. Okay, yeah. There he is. All is right with the world. But yeah, it was interesting to me to hear him sing in a more normal sort of tone of voice. And I guess it shouldn't be surprising because Scandinavians, generally speaking, other than Finnish folks that I've heard, Finland isn't really in Scandinavia. Finland's a Nordic country.
Yeah, it's Nordic, but not Scandinavian.
Yes. But like Norwegians, Swedish people, and Danish people generally don't have a whole lot of accent when they sing. And that's a thing the world over. When you sing in English, a lot of people try not to have an accent. But there are some accents where it cannot be helped. It's it's going to come through. People are going to hear that you are not American. But if you had told me, oh, this is a Danish guy, I never would have known.
Right.
I never would have known. But then again, you see interviews with people like Nikolai Coster-Waldau, and you hardly be able to tell that he's Danish unless he hits a couple words.
Right.
And the same thing goes with the younger Skarsgård men. The Skarsgård brothers.
You would know they're not Americans.
Yeah, you would hardly have any idea that they're Swedish, which is just wild to me. It's weird.
I wish they would become pirates though.
The Skarsgårds. Yeah. I mean, their dad was a pirate in a couple of those movies.
That's true.
He was Bootstrap Bill. Good old Stellan. So he's going to be Duke Harkonnen in Dune.
Really?
I believe that is his role. I believe he's going to be Duke Harkonnen in Denis Villeneuve's Dune. That I like to say it that way just so it doesn't sound like I'm saying Doom.
Yeah.
Dune.
I'm looking forward to
Frank Herbert's Dune. What about Frank Herbert's Doom?
That would be interesting.
Frank Herbert writes a Doom game.
For the Doom. Isn't he dead?
Yes, he's dead. I'm almost certain Frank Herbert is dead. But that would be interesting. Frank Herbert wrote the plot for Doom Eternal. That'd be weird.
I'm looking forward to that game, by the way.
Me too.
Yeah.
I can't remember when it comes out, though. March?
I
think it's March.
It was supposed to be like in November.
Yeah.
Just last November, but...
Yeah. It was not to be. What was your favorite song?
My favorite song on this is I Love the Curse of the Pharaohs. Okay. Great song. Nuns Have No Fun is always...
Nuns Have No Fun. I put two down. Nuns Have No Fun was one of them. And then I also put A Corpse Without a Soul. I thought that was... I liked that one as well.
I'm a corpse. I'm a corpse. I'm a corpse without soul.
Satan
Satan.
sticking his toe. And I love at the end where he goes, "Wah!" He goes way up until his voice breaks, and he actually starts like actually screaming.
Yeah, it sounds like a little girl who's screaming.
like it's like a shriek at the end. I think that's cool for some reason because it's this. I think the musical term would be glissando or something, where it's this sliding. It slides up in pitch, up until it breaks. And for some reason, I really dig that. I don't know why. I like that. And I'm just imagining him at the time singing that. This sort of really like cool looking. I mean, he'd be wearing the paint, but like for some reason, I'm picturing him without the paint singing that. Cool porn star mustache, big mutton chops, and the glasses, his aviators,
his combed back jet black hair.
King Diamond's just a fucking cool dude.
He's a cool dude.
He's a very cool dude. He's
for what I understand, he is actually, I mean, as far as personality goes, is a cool dude. Just a regular fella.
I choose to believe that, even if it's not the truth. He was so cool, and that's. I mean, he's a cool dude because Dave Mustaine doesn't like him apparently.
Well, Dave Mustaine found Jesus. And
Dave Mustaine being an asshole has nothing to do with him finding Jesus.
Well, no,
him not liking King Diamond has to do with him finding Jesus, I suppose. But Dave Mustaine didn't need religion to be an asshole.
No. It seems like he's always been an asshole.
Yeah.
One of these times,
a talented asshole, but an asshole nonetheless.
One of these times, you should look up on YouTube. It's probably still there. It's Dave Mustaine interacts with Ricky Rachtman.
Okay. Who is that? One of the?
He was one of the hosts of Headbangers Ball.
I feel like I've actually seen this.
You may have. And David, just such a dick to him.
Just a dick. And not even the fun kind. Like now I can't think of his name from Faith No More.
Mike Patton?
Yeah, Mike Patton is kind of the fun sort of dick.
Yeah.
Like he's a troll. He does not want to be there, so he's going to fuck with you, but it's funny.
Yeah. Whereas Dave is not being funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of these times we'll have to do a Megadeth album on this.
Oh, absolutely. I'm down for Megadeth. It's just that Dave is. I mean, it's not news to anyone that Dave is an asshole, but he makes amazing music. That's it, and that's perfectly fine. Like he hasn't. It's not like he's committed any sort of horrible crimes or anything. The dude's just kind of a dick.
That's he knows full well that people should have stopped making any kind of art after the release of Rust in Peace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite Onion article.
Is it Onion or is it The Hard Times?
No, it was The Onion.
It was The Onion?
People still making art as if Megadeth's Rust in Peace does not already exist. I'm trying to remember. There was something else that thinking about Dave Mustaine brought to mind, but I was thinking about people. Speaking of like people that are assholes, I was on a little kick today where I was watching clips from My Best Fiend, between Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski, and then what triggered that was him talking about Nicolas Cage, and
who was Dave Mustaine?
No, Werner Herzog was talking about Nicolas Cage, because they did Bad Lieutenant.
Oh, sure. Was Nicolas Cage? That's right.
Yeah. There's a movie in the 80s also called Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Starring was it Harvey Keitel?
Harvey Keitel,
yeah.
correct.
This is
the remake.
It wasn't actually a remake. Not even really. The name was just the same, but and the plot was somewhat similar. But there was sort of a weird thing there where it was like very, very loosely associated with the first one. At any rate, it's just kind of interesting that Werner Herzog seems to gravitate towards just complete psychos and just really, really weird, intense people to have in his movies. And Nicolas Cage, I think, I think he's a lot easier to work with than Klaus Kinski would have been.
Sure, probably not as combative.
In the sense that he's not actually trying to hurt Werner Herzog. He's not actively getting in fistfights with the director the way Klaus Kinski would be. But just like people in the comments talking about like, man, Werner Herzog really has a thing for just like complete weirdos being in his movies. Get that in just extreme intensity out of he wants those really weird kind of hammy intense actors. And like Nicolas Cage, I've always held is an extremely talented actor.
Right.
He just has a lot of financial obligations that require him to have a very consistent and steady stream of income so the IRS doesn't throw him in prison.
All right, today we're going to put a net around your face and load it with bees. There won't be real bees.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I just put the bees in there. I'll do my thing. It's okay. I think Wicker Man.
Yeah.
There was some discussion. Wicker Man is kind of the point where American audiences began to realize, Nick's been making a lot of bad movies lately. That's sort of when people realized that Nicolas Cage has been in a lot of really shit movies.
Because he was in some great movies.
He was in some really good movies.
Yeah.
He won an Academy Award. He's part of an American film dynasty.
Yeah, a family.
And like
Nicholas Coppola is his real name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And suddenly people started realizing, like, wow, you know what? That other movie he was in actually sucked a lot too.
Wait a minute, it's been like 3 or 4 movies. He's
done a whole bunch of what's up, Nick? And then people found out about all the a connection. Nicolas Cage with black metal. His son was in a black metal band for a while.
Nice.
I don't think they're together anymore, but his son was, and I listened to some of their stuff, and it was actually quite good.
So his son named like Luke, I think.
Yeah, his son's name is Luke Cage, a 6'6", 250-pound black man
who's basically bulletproof.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Went on to become the star of CBS's Evil.
Sure. No. It was Johnny. That's his son, Johnny.
Johnny Cage. Yes. Known for fighting Sub-Zero and
I could just imagine
Scorpion.
Yeah, I could just imagine Nicolas Cage telling his son, he was
Goro?
doing Goro.
Those are the only Mortal Kombat characters I can think of.
Melina.
Right now. Melina. That's I was trying to think of the sexy lady with the scary. I couldn't think of the sexy lady with the scary face.
Sure.
That's Melina.
Liu Kang.
All right.
I can only say their names like that. You have to.
You have to. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Liu Kang the one with the razor blade on his hat?
No.
He's got like Odd Job's hat.
That's not Liu Kang.
One of them has a sharp hat.
Oh my God. That's oh fuck! I'm forgetting his name.
Ryu Hadouken.
No. Wrong game.
Oh, sorry.
That's Street Fighter.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Blanca.
Yeah, Blanca. Delcime.
Samus Aran. Wait, no, that's Smash Brothers.
King Koopa. That's who it is. That's who it is.
King Koopa, not Bowser, mind you. King Koopa. As if it is like original OG Mario or the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Exactly.
Where I think Bowser had become a thing by the time the Super Mario Brothers Super Show came out. And I think the same thing goes for the Mario Brothers movie. His name was already Bowser at that point, I want to say. But they went with the original and called him King Koopa. And he was green all the way instead of being mostly orange.
Kung Lao.
Okay.
Kung Lao.
Is he the one with the hat?
Yeah.
All right.
And Raiden.
Oh, yeah.
He was the lightning god.
Okay.
Anyway,
so
Mercyful Fate.
Yeah, what medal are you giving the beginning?
Personally, I give this one a gold. For me is gold.
I'm gonna give it a silver.
Yeah.
I feel like if we had gone straight from Melissa, I might give it a gold. I've listened to that and thoroughly enjoyed it. But
it was
a
very good album.
Yes, I love the cover art from Melissa. By the way,
beautiful.
It's
fire with the
skull. It's like that, and it's sort of neon streaks coming out of the eyes and the mouth of the skull. Like it's really really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like some classic. It's the most 80s looking, and also satanic, but like satanic plus 80s vibe this album cover has it the best.
What was it the article you found on the internet? It was, if you play black metal albums forwards.
Satanic messages found when black metal played forwards. Absolutely. Anyway. Oh boy. This was a weird one, folks, but thanks for bearing with us. Next Monday we're going to be it's not going to be Monday,
it'll be Wednesday.
Next week. Next episode we're going to be talking about an album, I suppose.
Some kind.
We're going to be talking about the newest album from a band called Falls of Rauros. It's called Patterns in Mythology. It's sort of a folk black metal or atmospheric or ambient black metal sort of tone. I've really, really, really been digging this album over the past month or so. Really enjoyed it. And since I've been on a Lord of the Rings kick lately, that was another thing I did in the last week. I watched Two Towers and Return of the King.
That's some time spent right there.
My extended edition Blu-rays, baby. It's named after a location in Lord of the Rings. Soaring, beautiful melodic guitar solos and just beautiful, beautiful stuff. Love it.
Nice.
We'll get to talking about that next time. For right now, if you like this sort of thing, and if you're coming off of, if you've made it this far, also congratulations. But if you're coming off of last week's episode, which was very coherent, we were both very present for and ready to go.
And
if you're coming off of that episode expecting, and you expected this to be the same thing, know that
we keep you guessing.
Our quality varies wildly week to week. So, but yeah, if that's not something that bothers you and you're just down to have some background noise, check out our social media pages, follow us on those pages, and share our posts with your friends, share new episodes, be like, hey, here's a little link you can click to listen to this thing you might like. You can also find us on Libsyn and on iTunes. Subscribe, or iTunes, Apple, iOS. Did they just say iOS now?
How do you get to Libsyn? I tried to find, is there an app for Libsyn?
There is.
Couldn't find it.
I don't remember what it's called. It's not, instead of just being called Libsyn, it's called like something else
different
for some reason.
Okay.
At any rate, which I feel like is a phrase I've said no less than 6 times tonight.
At any rate.
Thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Bronze Metals Pod. It's Black Metal January, everybody. I'm Kale.
I'm OJ.
Congratulations. I like the questioning tone.
Congratulations. I'm OJ. I'm Ron.
Thank you, Cat.
Surprised you're not gushing.
I have thick blood.
Mine is fairly thin. Well, I don't know.
I have thick blood. It's mostly all the bacon I eat.
I had that for breakfast.
Thick blood?
Thick blood. Yes, a bowl of thick blood.
You got to put some snake venom in there, to get to coagulate.
Uh-oh. Sounds like an emergency in the background somewhere.
I'm sure everyone's fine. Well, that certainly looks like beer.
I bet the taste is very beer-like as well.
I imagine. It looks like beer. It smells like beer.
Ooh, the Cosmos.
That is perhaps the most nondescript beer I've ever tasted.
It's just beer.
It's just a premium kind of light sort of colored lager or whatever. It's just beer.
Yeah, I remember my.
They describe it on the back: a beer behind the times. In a lot of ways, the town of Shiner, Texas, is the same today as it was in 1909. Sure, there have been a few concessions in the name of progress, like the stoplight on the road through town. But somehow its spirit remains the same. Maybe part of the secret is in the bottle. A premium style lager, certified with the same love and care today as it was generations ago. Mm-hmm. We hope it takes you back. And yeah, it's just beer.
And we hope it takes you back as if though you're like over 100 years old.
Yeah, back when there was only one kind of beer in any given town. It was the kind of beer that the monks made.
Yes.
The local monastery.
What kind of beer is this? What?
What do you mean, what kind of beer? It's the beer that we have. All right.
Yeah.
It's just brown bottles with no label.
Mm-hmm. That's my uncle was like that. My uncle used to drink, actually, believe it or not, and this was a thing, he used to drink a white can with black letters on it, just 4 black letters.
B-E-E. Sorry, F-U-C-K.
A can of fuck.
Let me crack open a can of fuck. Take a few sips of delicious fuck.
That sounds like a threat.
Take a few sips of delicious fuck.
I'm going to bust open a can of fuck on you.
Which means you're just going to like...
just kind of a rapey vibe there.
Yeah, that's some intense sexual aggression in that one. Okay, all right. Speaking of intense sexual aggression, let's start the show.